We are now recording the October 9th, 2020 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Beautiful here in Pennsylvania today. Lovely, crisp fall day. Enjoyed being out and about.
I like your picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got 85 or 86 today here in sunny southern Minnesota.
Head down all day, so I have no clue.
75 in Idaho, and all of California's smoke seems to be gathering around us.
Oh, sorry about that. I apologize.
It's a good thing tomorrow we're actually going to get rain and wash it all out of the sky, so we're happy about that.
Good,
Nice, nice.
Ever had one of those days where you just don't move from your desk?
Yeah,
That
today was
wasn't
one of
me
those
today.
days because I did golf for 4 hours.
Yeah, too nice, too nice. Okay, so
Hi, my little dog nudging me under the elbow. Come on, let's go. You want to go outside, don't you?
Walk me.
And I want to say Seth's little dogs are the most adorable things. I could not stand being there. All the cuteness would kill me. I would never get work done.
Did you see?
Oh, they are so adorable.
Morning or
They
something.
are.
Those puppies were going at it, and I'm like,
I know. That's why I say I just would not get any work done. I'd be playing
I'm
all
gonna
day.
adopt geriatric dogs from now on. I want them slow.
Yeah, I want them potty trained.
Yeah, potty.
Yeah, that's a big, yep, exactly.
yeah,
Okay, how do we segue into Ernest big announcement from that?
Big news. All right, I'm going to share my
All
screen
right.
so that I can walk you through this. So this is actually a recording that I made earlier today, so you can see my picture down there. And actually, the majority of the first part of it is me talking, so I'm gonna tell you live. So the problem we're solving here is there's a lot of people. Sarah's one of those, right? That have a great idea for an add-in product, but it's hard to bring that niche product to market, particularly around QuickBooks Desktop, because you might not have the right resources, and it's really difficult to do. So what we've done, right? So you guys know that we created a framework. We pulled a lot of our programs in, and so we've been doing a lot of work around licensing recently. And so the big announcement here is we finished the licensing for what I would call the OEM module. So the OEM module basically allows us to, let me fast forward the video here, allows us to go in, let's go do the deep dive, to fire up a program. And let's say, and the example that I'm going to show you here, the only module you're going to see is a module that Jean from Terabytes asked us to create, and she's selling on her website, right? So if I just play the video, it's going to show the program running. So basically, when it comes up, instead of, there's like 15 modules, I think, that we have right now. But instead of the 15 modules, it's going straight to the module that she asked us to create. And I guess the other thing that's interesting, right, is it's got her branding.
Nice.
So even though there's a ton of other programs and a lot of infrastructure underneath there, this is like this ability to say, oh, in this particular example, let me play it. What we're doing is she identified a very niche problem. If you're going to do an implementation of Fishbowl, you can't get ship-to addresses out of QuickBooks easily.
Right.
And so what we did is we went and we created a program that extracts the ship-to addresses out of QuickBooks. And as you can see right there in the format, we put it in exactly the format that Fishbowl needs to be able to suck that up to do an implementation. So obviously the only one that's, the people that are going to find this the most are, as an example, people that go do Fishbowl implementations. And they're in touch with that niche community. So this gives her the ability to put something out there with her name that solves kind of a niche problem, but she can monetize it, right? Because The other part of the licensing that we've worked really hard on is we track every time somebody opens up a module. So we know, as an example, that customer 23 opened up module 14 today. And therefore we can, at the end of the month, right, we can say, oh, customer 14, you sold them this license and they were active, boom. Here's your share of the revenue, right?
Wow.
So we're pretty excited about the fact that not only do we have a solid framework that is, click once deployable, so literally go to a website and download and install it, but this ability to go create kind of one-off niche solutions, quick and easy. We've now done 3 different small projects. This is one of them in 4 hours because we have all the framework already. So it's just like, in this case,
It's like, what do you need?
Yeah, you need ship to addresses here. I've already got a connection to the customer table. I just need to dump them out in this exact format. Boom, let's go do it. So that's our big announcement. We're looking for other people besides Terabytes to come out with some great ideas
Now my
and
head's spinning.
share some revenue with us.
Perfect.
Nice.
I like it. That's clever, the name Terabyte.
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to
Excuse
say ship to
But yeah,
address.
no, we're
is that-
pretty excited about it, and we've actually got a couple of other people that we're working with to do it as well. But yeah, so if you have great ideas, I know you're already cooking some up, Sarah. Bring them on.
See those
We have the
wheels moving.
infrastructure to not just deliver the solution, but manage the compensation so you can monetize it.
Are you planning, or are you going to do anything with QBO?
I could not hear anything you just said,
Hello.
and I'm
We
sure
hear-
it's me.
It is, because we hear.
I have this weird thing in Zoom now. If I turn on some kind of video,
Yep. Mine
okay, now you're back.
There you go.
So what'd you say?
I said, okay, so you're tackling desktop. Any plans? Or are you doing QBO too?
There might be something like that in the works.
Maybe. There's always
We-
something when you're in a program and you're doing, you go, oh, I wish it did this.
Yeah. So right now the framework that we have is like, I mean, to be candid, it's been out in the marketplace. The core underpinnings of this has been actually running in customer programs for over 10 years. And we just literally just started adding stuff into the core framework. So I know the framework's super solid. The database is solid. The reporting tools solid. And the licensing is pretty good. So the installer is actually the hardest thing. That, Sarah, because of TBX, right? The installer is a big deal. So being able to say, yeah, you can click it and it runs, we've solved all those problems. And that's really the biggest thing that I think that gets in the way of these small add-on solutions in a niche market is, oh, you got to build an installer. Okay, that's more money. And then you got to go, all the framework, there's a lot of money to that. So
You can offer, like, we could feed you ideas. You get it into implementation format, and then because we came up with the idea, we could actually brand it and get a royalty.
I like
Yeah,
that
so-
monetization part.
yeah, and I think it's one of the things that's been missing in our market for a long time, because there's a lot of niche things that really would be beneficial, right? I mean, one example is, and this sounds really small and trite, but it's out there in production today. There's some customer catalogs that come across as Excel files.
Yeah.
And do you go by TPI and you put it on your customer's desktop? There's a lot of ways to import things, but so we have one little module that will take a vendor's catalog, look the part number up and say, oh, is that already in QuickBooks? Yes, update the price. If it's not, just keep going.
That's
Right?
big, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the toolkit today, right? And how do I get that word out? It's a small niche thing. It's people that are in the trenches, if you will, day to day, that have to know about it to be able to get it out. So
Right. So
being
like
able to do,
terabytes, she deals right with Fishbowl, and so it's
So
everybody
she's using for
implementing
inventory, right?
new inventory program. Cool.
yep. So she runs into a brand new customer because, you know, I mean, obviously, if you look at her website, it's Fishbowl, everything. Oh, you're doing a brand new implementation and you've got 300. We actually have one. We've already sold that module to somebody. We have 300 ship to addresses, and you don't want to go figure out the pain to get those.
Here you go.
Click, click. Here you go.
Cool. Well, you've been working
Bring
hard
on your ideas.
Mhm.
Right, great.
I knew that whole the whole licensing, you know, being able to track all that and be able to pay royalties and all that. That's just been all consuming lately. So.
Well, I'd be too shy if I didn't tell you that, you know how I implemented the front end of that licensing?
Hmm.
Can you guess, Mr. Power BI?
He walked
Here.
off.
So there it is,
That's awesome.
right? So not only, you know,
Yep.
so there's all the module, people license, modules license and everything. So it's all in Power BI. So it's not like it's a dream, it's implemented.
Right.
Neat.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
So PPP, huh?
So now we're talking PPP. I think of
I
PP.
don't even know everything because I haven't had a chance to read.
All I got
but-
was we got an extension.
Well,
We
it's
don't have
not
to
really
deal
an
with it right now.
extension. Well, and my advice is the same now as it has been for months, is unless you're laying people off, wait
Yeah.
to do the application. But, you know, I've got a bunch of people that are contractors, so it's getting to be the end of building season in Minnesota. So the builders are needing to do their PPP applications, their forgiveness applications. But the gist of the news that was just announced last night is that they've created a new form for people that borrowed less than $50,000. And so it's the forgiveness is still not automatic, but it fixed some of the confusing language in the standard application. And specifically, a borrower of PPP loans of less than $50,000 is no longer required to reduce the amount of eligible for forgiveness if the borrower reduces the salary or hourly wage of an employee during the covered period following the borrower relative. Some of this language just doesn't make sense. I'm just reading off the website.
Probably
And
attorneys.
I know. And the other one is reduces full-time equivalent employees during the covered period relative to the wage base.
Yeah. They
So,
just put that out for under 50 grand. It's awesome.
yeah.
They simplified it to a page and a half.
So under 50 grand, we're talking 2 or 3 employees. We're not talking a big payroll here.
I have 2 that are like 54,000. Like, shoot.
Oh, man. I
But
hope
3 that are under 50. So yeah, we're talking 1, 2, 3 employees. And now it's so simple. Just go ahead and file and get it over with. You know.
well, and they cleared up the language on paid or incurred too.
Yeah.
So payroll costs are paid on the day the paycheck is distributed,
Right.
or the borrower originates an ACH credit transaction. Thus, you could have received PPP loans for April 26th and immediately paid as part of your regular payroll process wages that had been earned by employees on the previous 2 weeks. So it's is paid or incurred and not paid and incurred.
Right, and that was huge.
That is huge.
That would have helped a lot of people in the 8-week problem, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot more information here, but this just dropped last night after I went to bed.
Yeah.
So
I
I
saw it taken off on Twitter, and I'm like, what? And then it was like 50. They were going to do 150. That would take care of half of my list.
well, 150 would have taken care of 100% of mine.
Very political. But did you see what the what it says? There's nothing in there about idle.
Yeah,
No.
So
Yeah. Matthew,
idle
what's your take on this?
advance is
You
supposed
came in at the perfect time.
for PPP. So the assumption is we don't want to just jump and go, we're off the hook. It's probably, here's the information about our PPP. The bank will gather it. They'll send it to the SBA. The SBA knows what your advance is, and the SBA is going to come back to the bank and go, this is what they're approved for forgiveness. And the difference is going to be the idle. But these banks don't want to write these little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 loans. They're going to have to administer them. So,
ha 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 ha.
aha, made them earn their money, Jeeps. But I don't think we're going to get off the hook for our advances.
No, they're not going to. It's not going to happen.
No.
At first, it looked like, you know, you got hopeful there for a minute, but I really don't think it was.
I heard somebody mention
All of us-
PPP when it came running.
Advances and PPP, the advances alone.
Your name was on the hook until you weren't here. So Shannon's very happy that you're here.
I am. I couldn't be happier to see you, Matthew.
Gotta go. See you guys. Bye. Hello. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy
Hi,
Friday.
Matthew.
Yeah. So
Got a couple weeks left till I see you in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Got
I
your
know.
sessions all ready to go?
Two of them. 2 of the 4 of the
Oh,
6.
God. I believe you have 4. Ernest says, forget.
So we have 2 weeks to go? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a month.
a month.
better
It's
be
a month from now.
I need that time.
Because I have to write my script. I was thinking, I saw an ad this morning. You know how Facebook puts those
Mhm.
in your face? And it was a voiceover program where you type up your script and it does the mechanical voice, except it sounds really real. You can get
Hello.
all
I
different
would
Better.
like to introduce you to my PPP program.
It's
Please enjoy your time today.
not
We will
that
take
bad.
short little breaks here and there for
What
you.
I want to do it for is type it all up, have it record it, and then I'll use that to practice.
Got it.
How about you just call me and you practice with me?
Huh?
How about you just
Yeah.
call me and you practice with me?
With a human?
There you go.
Well, I thought maybe too I could pull it into Camtasia and do the same thing, but I'd have to read it, you know. But I think the more I listen to it, maybe I'd like listen to it in my sleep.
Isn't it interesting the way we all learn so differently?
I get such stage fright. I'm really good at researching, doing the PowerPoint. I can teach a class, but as soon as it's more than a certain amount of people, I don't know. I get tongue twisted. So that's my out of my comfort shell. I go, why the hell did I agree to do this? But I really need to
Because
learn.
Ernest twists your arm.
Really need to learn this. I really
Well,
think-
the whole trick is to know that what you're speaking about is crucially important to the people you're speaking to.
and that's
and
practicing. That's I
From
know my
the
stuff.
heart.
I know my stuff.
I know you do.
It's
But
just
if
you got to make it rote. You just have to keep. So when it's in my head, it just comes out of my mouth. So I'm really not thinking about what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to say. So that's what I have a month to do. I only have one. So Shannon's
It's-
gone, and Matthew's gone, and Ernest is gone. Linda might do virtual, right?
Well,
Brandon, will you go?
I'll be definitely virtual. I canceled my hotel reservation today. I canceled the plane. The plane is now it's taking me to Las Vegas next Thursday and bringing me back next Sunday.
Okay.
And
Brandon,
I
are you
will be there, large and in charge.
um,
oh yeah,
Matthew has his face mask.
I like it. Very nice. You still need a mask, but
I need a mask.
if you want to protect yourself.
Yours isn't really that clear. It looks a little cloudy.
you know, it's just perspective of the world, actually.
You know, it would be fun is to take a bunch of those and then paint them with different things. Like, so one would look like an Indian and one would look like, and I mean like an American Indian, a wild Indian.
You'll get in trouble about being culturally.
You'll offend somebody.
Linda,
Oh, that's
Linda.
right. No, you can't do that.
they're called Native Americans.
No, I know that. I'm reading now
Not if they're
about
from India.
Ernest will be the first to get offended.
the Comanches. The Comanches had one of the biggest empires in the world.
Oh,
They did.
they were
They
vicious.
did. And I have a book now that's going to take me like 14 hours to read.
Wow.
You are a better person than me if you'll take 14 hours to read a book.
Oh, I love reading. It's something I
love
just
reading
love
too,
to
but-
do.
You know what my problem with reading? I want to start and finish it. If I put
No,
it
oh,
down,
no,
Depends on the book for me. I sometimes just enjoy it so much that, when I get towards the end, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be over soon.
Yeah.
Darn, I'm going to miss it.
stay up all night.
Well, and
Yeah.
when
Pick it up.
you find yourself, Gina, if the book is really good,
Yeah.
you read it and you slowly, like you'll read a page, put it down, read a page, put it down because you don't want it to be done.
Oh, yeah.
Game of Thrones, believe it or not, was that for me.
yeah.
That was a book.
You reading it?
I listened to a book.
I read Game of Thrones before I actually watched it in the movies. And I enjoyed the book much, much more. And
Yeah,
towards
because
the end, there
imagine.
were way bigger differences in the movie and the book.
Did you guys hear about the person who got busted for doing the PPP loans with all the Game of Thrones names?
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
I wonder if they have algorithms to.
I wonder if they just thought it'll never happen. They'll never
Nobody's
actually
gonna
get
look
it.
at the payroll records. That no human is going to glance at the payroll records and go,
Jon Snow? I recognize Jon Snow.
Well, actually, it might have been AI.
could have been.
Could have been AI.
Could have
Because
been.
AI would know about Game of Thrones and the names.
Exactly.
Well, if they're
Exactly.
making up payroll returns, I don't know if we have the technology because the IRS is so antiquated to even do cross references. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you
Who
just
was-
actually entered in all pop culture names, right?
Who was the vendor that always did fun action figure T-sheets? In their examples, yeah, they
Yes,
used to
they
have
did.
action figures as their examples.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing to do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's better than- we always did Fred. Fred.
I've gone to Shakespeare plays
Flintstone.
when we could go to plays, and they will throw in references from today. When they might say something, oh, it's just such a bad this COVID time, and they just throw it into a Shakespearean play.
See if people are paying attention.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever use Chat AI?
So did you want to go over the meals?
I've heard of
What
Chat
is it
A.
about the meals, the new,
Brandon, what? Chat.
Well,
They're no longer, so Chata AI has transitioned over to something different. They concluded their accounting aspect of their application and they're moving to bigger data and into very specialized fields. But Kelly, I'm going to say his last name wrong, Chernwick, the guy is brilliant, absolutely brilliant when it comes to database and
They
big
were at every
data.
convention.
Yeah,
They didn't make it, huh?
no.
Or they segued another way, or they just.
So they had started to do a lot of analytics around like the hospitality and restaurant industries. Now, I will say this was pre-COVID that I talked to them last about it. So it may not be so, I don't know, it could be super helpful right now or not helpful at all, but
Right.
I do know that Kelly, the guy he's brilliant. So I'm sure we're not done seeing him. And I thought I just saw some YouTube videos pop up from them, but it's no longer the Chatta AI we knew.
Got
Well,
it.
I'm sure they've got that infrastructure that they could use. What?
So Brandon, were you going to make an announcement? Yes, no?
He was
Did you
about to say he was going to sign it for Chatta AI, and then I ruined it. No.
What am I announcing?
I don't know.
Did the hurricane go by already?
It went left. It's over in Louisiana. They can have it.
Good. Well,
Okay.
not from
Well, I'm
Louisiana.
glad it missed you.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry for the people it's going to hit.
Yeah, I
Me
hate
too.
it.
But now I've been heads down all day. I'm scared to look.
I see earthquakes. I'll take a random earthquake every once in a while. You guys, like, you get all of these crazy, I'm going to get worried about it for a week straight. Oh, it takes the last minute left to go to Albuquerque and never have to worry about it. But you spend so much time stressing about it.
I
so
haven't
true.
thought about it. So in
It's the
Arkansas-
Weather Channel that stresses
You're the
about
rip
it. The
Band-Aid
ratings go
off
up.
type of person. You're
I want the
rip
Band-Aid to
Band-Aid
fall on
off.
my head and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Otherwise, I'm good.
No, Gina,
So-
you're right. You're right. It's just like all of the other news, right? It's like, oh, hype sells. And so they do it with weather. They do it with all these other things. When I'm with you,
Exactly.
Matthew, I used to say that all the time when I still lived in California. But,
Hey, we're still read this.
now that I've escaped, I don't even have to worry about that. I don't have earthquakes. I don't have, storms.
Actually, you have a
Ernest-
ton of earthquakes
in
up there.
California.
Ernest, the largest earthquake ever in the continental United States was in that corner by Yellowstone. I just finished reading a book about that again, the Yellowstone quake at Hebgen Lake. So it was a 7.5.
Plus,
On the
there's
other
also-
s-
you realize half of
yeah.
California is moving to Idaho at this point in time, right? So
Yeah.
pretty soon it's going to become Idaho.
I know, he's not gonna like that.
No. So, only the good people are moving here.
You wish.
We have the best of both worlds, Matthew, with tornadoes. We get just enough notice that we're not worried about it for too long, but we can
Right.
prepare for it.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Lots of
I like
rioting
that.
and fun stuff that you get to plan for too.
Well, there's no planning for rioting, but it just depends on how different places. There's you can definitely see the difference in police departments and mayors
Oh, yeah.
across the country because
Absolutely.
there's the places where they try to start the rioting, but it stops.
I just got to be honest. I keep hoping for the big one to happen, and it's going to actually fracture certain parts of California off, and I'll actually have my own island away from California, whatever you called it, with everybody else, and we'll call it Spot Island, and we can just start over and
Spot
just
Island.
have true paradise. Just break us off from the junk. It'll be beautiful.
Wasn't Spot Island the name of the island in The Greatest Game?
If that works for me. Did we win something on there? If we won something, yes.
No, The Greatest Game was where they hunted people.
Ooh,
Oh.
No, wrong. Yeah.
Like
We're
the
going to change
Hunger
subjects
Games.
and we're going to go to our last subject of the day.
And that is,
And that is Pro Advisor memberships.
yes.
Sarah just renewed hers. I just renewed mine too, but it happened automatically and I didn't see any notice. I
much?
just
I
knew
got
that
a
it was gonna
notice.
happen.
I got to notice it didn't have a price on it. It
How
just
much?
gonna renew on October 7th. No money.
How much?
1106.50.
What?
So that is.
Oh, you must have everything.
I have to have enterprise because I have to test TBS.
Yeah, that's twice what it was.
And
Not-
then,
No, not including.
She's got payroll and the Pro Advisor.
If it's got payroll, so the regular, just Pro Advisor membership is $449 or $799.
Right.
Now, if you add on the payroll, then yeah, I can see where it should.
But 30750, I get 50 payroll clients.
Right.
Okay. So while I was checking to make sure everything was cool, I saw a button that says your EINs that are assigned to my account. And they're 19. And I'm like, I don't have 19 people in desktop payroll. So most of them, 3 of them had company names on it. One was a client that I do their quarterlies, but they've got their own payroll license. 2 of them are businesses I'd never heard of before. All
That was
the
my
rest
bad.
of them had my business name on it. So I went to my database and, because you had to figure it out. And I figured out, this is my client, this is my client, this is my client. Oh yeah, 2 of them have retired. Okay, yeah, that's still on there. And there's 3. I have no clue what these EINs are.
I've been meaning to send you a check on those. I appreciate it. My clients are very happy.
Well, okay.
I'm sure you're right.
This is back. They were set up in like
100 years ago. So Matthew,
well, they were
just on
set
that
up in
point-
2011 and 12. Okay. And so back in those days, if your payroll subscription was already in your system because you have all this payroll and you start a new data file and you turn on payroll, it'll say, do you want to add it to your subscription? And you go, yeah. Okay. So I'm wondering if, now I've had staff leave where I'm like, you want to take this little client, take it, I wonder if there was a data file hanging out there.
So what I was trying to say, my confidence level in Intuit's database perfection is really waning because I've said this before. Somehow there's like a bunch of subscriptions that are tied to my QBO account, which aren't costing me money, but are actually giving me a higher level of status. I'm like, so I've got all these points on my Pro Advisor. I'm like, I have no idea who these people are.
Are you talking about QBO?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's probably should show this after recording.
Yeah, you can
There's
wait if you want.
this after we're done recording, but anybody who would like to find out the way to game the system, please contact Linda Artisani and she'll tell you. No.
Well, I was going to ask you, Brandon, what are the levels of the Pro Advisors now? The subscription?
Did they change them?
Premier and Deluxe.
Does that match with Credit Karma's levels? Because I was just wondering, since we're paying for that.
I don't know it.
So Premier is just the accountant's version and also support and all of the training that comes with it.
Training,
Yes.
you're supposed to be able to have the certification, but I think that's important. First of all, it forces me to, go through all the features that I don't typically use. But we used to be able to have, I'm certified for this year, and when you have a whole slew of them, you can tell at a glance which Pro Advisors have been doing this a long time, been certified.
Right.
Now you can't tell the difference with somebody who took a test last week and me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you do, as far on the Pro Advisor support, I had diamond level support because I was always I was advanced certified on desktop. I've not done advanced on QBO. I certified on QBO once. It's been a while since I've done that. Anyway, so my certification or my support level is going down because I don't sell through the accountant's channel because I'm a QSP. So we sell all of our software to the QSP channel, and we don't get credit on that side. So it's been something we've been working with them on the QSP side, that if you're selling on the QSP side, you don't get credit on the accountants and support side. So all of you QBO experts that are advanced certified have way better support than we do. But the support level is going way down too with all the layoffs. I've had several complaints from not just end users, but longtime Pro Advisors, including myself, that the level of support has gone way, way, way down.
Well, that's why I haven't I have plenty of room to add clients in my payroll license. So part of me, I could unclick them and just, if they're using my license, whoops, can't do payroll tomorrow. But so I really don't want to do that unless I really know what's going on. But do I spend the time to call into it, figure this out? And I'm like, there's just too much work. I don't need to be.
Well, you're not close to the limit, so who cares?
Exactly. It's not hurting me. Now one is an investment company. They're all in Savannah. So I may call them and just say, hey,
Yeah.
can I talk to your bookkeeper or whatever, and find out who their bookkeeper is? And it may, now when you set up a new person on payroll, you have to log in with your Intuit account. So I'm sure they fixed this problem, but it's still bugging me.
Those of us that
Yeah,
have been
someday when you have a little extra time, you'll make some phone calls.
Yeah, when's that? I wish there was a place, and every time I'm doing 1099s, I say this. I wish there was a place where you could put in a federal ID number and figure out who it belonged to.
Boy, that would be
there
really
you go,
nice.
Ernest. I want to see those wheels working.
That's what I want to.
This would be from the
We
government.
got 2 votes for that.
See, and my problem is different than Sarah's. I do so many projects. I'm always button up against my 50 limit. So we've got a spreadsheet here with the federal tax ID number and who it belongs to, so that we know who we can remove without
Right.
causing an issue. Because one day I didn't feel like doing the spreadsheet, so I just went and I took everybody off. And then I went into the files that I needed to and just put them all back on as I needed them.
Well, that's a way of doing it.
But so now when I'm creating a new QuickBooks file for payroll, sometimes instead of getting do you want to add it to your existing EIN, I get the sales page for buying payroll, and I can't figure out why. And I was going to show you guys an example, but we fought with it all afternoon and now it's working. So my new clients that I just got today are on. I got the payroll set up now finally, but I don't know why that happens. And calling into it and just telling them I need a service key. They're like, why do you need a service key? Oh, well, you'll have to buy it. And I'm like, no, I don't need to buy it. I just need a service key because it's not working. And then they want to troubleshoot why it's not working. So what in 2010, what was a 5-minute phone call is an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Easy.
I have one where I did a big cleanup and it was all pristine. I went to give it to the CPA who's going to carry it on from then. And so I had my payroll program, my key in it, because we'd moved them off of, whatever ADP. And so she was going to continue and do the payroll in her office. So she gets the file. She called me up. She said, I have spent hours on this. I'm trying to put this data file on my account and I can't get it to work. And she said, may I stay on your number at least another, couple of weeks to get their stupid payroll, And I'm like, whatever, we're friends. And so that was like,
maybe that's one of them.
well, no,
I'm just thinking exactly the same
that is
thing.
one of them. But here's the thing. So I'm like, I don't care. I know she legally owns a payroll license, so I don't care. And I did identify one as that. The problem was whenever she gets the direct deposit email, it comes to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to forward it to her. So it's like every other week, it's like, hi, I forward it to her. And and then the other was, I had another thought. So that was where she's got my license in that file. And then there was another one. Oh, while you were talking, I just thought of another situation. I don't remember. Oh, no, I don't remember.
So Brandon, what is the deluxe? Yes, Matt. I'm sorry, Matthew, you wanted to say something?
Just one super quick thing. I would love to see other larger corporations that we know take a couple cues from companies like Microsoft that have done a phenomenal job with their customer support. Believe it or not, like this company, when you're on the Office subscription, everything else,
Yeah.
If you've got a challenge, the people that help you are friendly. They're easy to understand. They seem to be rather knowledgeable, but when they're not, they say, I don't know, I need to do more research and let me get back to
They're
you. They
right.
spend time, and they do all of these things.
That's
And-
awesome.
Absolutely.
I mean, I am always willing for
Super.
something like that. You better believe I'll wait an extra day or two. Happily.
Yes.
Have y'all gotten support from T-Sheets lately? Not T-Sheets. Expensify?
No.
Right, so
I've never gotten support from them.
they non-existent. Non-existent. Okay.
T-Sheets has
So
gone
I've been
downhill,
dealing
too.
with them.
Mhm.
So the best support I've ever seen in my career was when Matt Rizal owned T-Sheets.
Yes.
It's gone downhill big time.
Well,
We had all those
Zoom.
Idahoans out there, man.
Okay. And so
And QBox is great.
I was thinking
They
of
are.
that.
but Expensify, they're just cocky. They're like,
It's chat.
it's easy to use. It works flawlessly. What do you need support? And I'm just like, you don't understand. And I many times I said, you guys need to hire Matt Rizal. You guys need to. So I don't know.
Did they do that?
COVID and
No, Matt
work
probably couldn't.
or
It's too
what,
expensive for them.
but all of a sudden, my phone's ringing. Hi, how are you doing? I'm so and so in the support. I see that this is still unresolved in your system. Do you need any help? And I'm like, you're with who? And I had a chat with one of the ladies, and she said, we are on a big kick. And I'm like,
Right.
it is awesome.
Yeah, well, I
Awesome.
tried to do some stuff with the API and it's difficult to get any help. with it.
Yeah, but see,
Repeat what Mark
the
said,
same
Sarah,
fact-
because he was so faint.
Oh,
I was just saying, I was trying to do some stuff with the API last year and it was very difficult.
well, this
to
is
get
this
any
year.
help.
This is within the last couple months. I don't know whether it's because they're all, need work. I don't know, but there has been a push, and their emails, everything is just all support. So good. I know. I remembered what I forgot.
Good.
Years ago with the EINs, it's usually at night. If you can get some support person, at night. We were talking about the EINs and so he was asking me something and I'm like, so you see a list? And he said, yeah, you want a copy? And he dumped that thing in a comma delimited file and emailed it to me. And
Wow.
I could not believe the stuff that Intuit was tracking. So it was every EIN that I have ever been connected to since I started with QuickBooks.
Wow.
And it was the IP address of them, of the last, of the first and the last company or computer, you gotta go, that pinged them. So that was huge. And I did find a couple then that a gal that had left, she had taken, she was supposed to put them on her subscription, but
Right.
it was
Go ahead,
the
Matthew.
pinging. It
Did
was
you
the
say
pinging
they
of the computer.
emailed it to you?
She did.
The EIN? Yeah. Well, this is, 2020.
It was a while
Maybe
ago.
2010, 2000,
Okay.
2000, it's probably 2000, 20 years ago. But the point was, they were tracking who set it up, what version it was in, what set up, what it's being used in now, when's the last time it was used, what's the IP address of the last time it was used.
This doesn't surprise me, not one
Well,
single bit.
check their license. So I
Well,
can
right. And you're only supposed to have the payroll subscription on a computer that you control
You're
or
off.
somebody in your company. Yeah. So, but I mean,
they have the right to do that. I understand.
oh yeah.
But it was just, seeing it in black and white, it's like, whoa, they really do know when I'm over at my mom's doing payroll.
What's
Oh,
interesting
but-
is Microsoft Azure. Ernest, you know about this, I'm sure, but like you can go into the user permissions. If you go to Azure Active Directory, you can go in, see the different users. You can see the logins, all the activity of when they're logging in, what program it was, everything, which is lovely.
I like
Yeah,
Teams.
you missed that part, Matt, but when I was showing the toolkit that I developed, I have that capability inside my program.
Yeah.
So every time you log in,
Power
I
BI, right?
saw when you logged in, Brandon. Every time you log in, every module you access, we just log it, right? And there's a couple of reasons for that. You know, one of which is what I said about the whole OEM thing, right? It's in terms of helping you monetize it, right? That's, oh, okay, you have an active user on this module. And so whether it's a monthly rate or, you know, a one-time fee, it just gives us a lot more options. That's why we're logging it. But it's kind of cool to be able to see, you know, who's actually still out there doing stuff.
So we'll put that link when I put this recording up. When I do, I'll put that link in the comments.
Well, and if we have time for one more excellent customer service story, I'd like to share.
Go ahead.
So I have been dropping some of my bookkeeping clients just because I'm not doing bookkeeping so much anymore. And I went into my Rewind subscription and I deleted all the ones that I was no longer going to be doing bookkeeping for in September. And when they billed me on October 5th, they had all of the subscriptions in there. So I just went on, got on the chat, and I said, I was overbilled. And they're like, you know, they didn't even really ask who or what. And I said, I got billed for 3 companies that I shouldn't have been billed for. And within 5 minutes, they refunded my whole Rewind bill and apologized and said it'll be corrected in November.
Nice, nice.
So I was just looking for $15 and they gave me my
Or-
whole bill.
Nice. Nice. It's nice when you see that happen. So the last thing I want to do is go back to the Pro Advisor memberships from Intuit. And Brandon, I'd like you to tell me the difference between the 2 levels.
So with the, is it deluxe? Let me double check. With the lower price one, which is the Premier software bundle, it comes with the desktop training and certification and desktop accountant desktop plus software. That's it. The other one comes with, which is the Pro Advisor Enterprise software bundle. It's the $7.99 a year, but it comes with the training and certification, obviously. You get the Accountant Desktop Plus, Desktop Enterprise Accountant, a Mac desktop, and a POS desktop.
Wow.
And what are there's
So-
monthly charge also, right? So you can either do annual or monthly fee.
More, isn't it?
To my knowledge, it is, I've never seen anybody do it monthly. I think it's an annual thing. But
I've seen a few people do it monthly, but I don't think they offer that anymore.
we do not in the QSP channel. So anybody in the QSP channel can sell a Pro Advisor membership. I think the bounty is like $25. So they could purchase it through you, or you could purchase it for yourself or for somebody if you're a QSP. But monthly subscription is not an option throughout.
I apologize. It's not a monthly subscription. It's a monthly payment is probably a better way to say it. But what's the annual cost of the lower one? Because I've been paying $50 a month, basically every month, and it's towards that, which is $600 a year.
Okay, so
$449.
through the QSP channel is $449 or $799 a year.
Which I think that $449 at the monthly becomes $600, I think.
Okay, so if you go to,
But Brenda, I thought I heard the other day, and this really was like last week, I heard that the QSP was they cut off Ruth from being able to sell the accountant's version. Does that apply just the accountant's version or also the whole Pro Advisor?
Is Q,
we can
We'll
still,
find out tomorrow, won't we, Brandon?
I just sold it to a client because she had to have back center.
we've sold, I don't know, it's still on, so we can't advertise it. So that's the deal. is you
Yeah, we can't
advertise
advertise it.
So if
Can I
you look,
advertise it for you?
well, I'll just, well, I won't show you right now because we're recording, But if you look at the price sheet under QuickBooks Accountant 2021, you absolutely cannot advertise it.
Right.
You can still sell it.
You
Or
should
buy it.
be able to go on to the our IRP channel and order it.
Yeah, you can still order it through the QSP channel.
But I tell them, yeah, because if they really don't want to join the Pro Advisor program,
Why do it?
you know, because they're not an accountant, but
It is, but I don't know anybody that really should not be a pro advisor and support clients.
Well, I have a couple clients that I've done training for that they have the accountant edition and they're just using it for themselves, but they're more power users than
Yeah.
regular
Well,
business owners.
there are features that are not included in the regular version. Yeah.
And
The accountant desktop tools are handy for somebody that knows how to use them.
I would
Mhm.
bet money that the
Does
person who
what?
set them up was an accountant, and that's why they knew about it, and that's why they got it set up that way.
I agree.
So I have a client who, and they are just ecstatic. We've been wanting to install, we've been trying to do 2020 all year and then, COVID, and we just couldn't get together. And finally I'm like, well, we get this thing installed. So we got installed and converted everything. And they have a separate warehouse point of sale system and they run their inventory AP through it. Okay. So she's got all her normal accounting and QuickBooks, but she'll do these check runs of like 45 checks out of that other system. So I just started poking around. They wanted $200 for support to help custom write a report. And I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. Anyway, all I needed was date, check number, the payee name and an amount, and so I got that report, drop it in Excel, pulled up the batch enter, made sure the columns in the right order, cut and paste. Couple little things in red where the vendor name wasn't quite the same, and click. I thought that girl's gonna hug me through the phone because she's been hand typing in 45 checks every Monday morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So awesome.
Yeah, Ernest pointed out, and the desktop accountant version, by the way, while we can sell it and not advertise it, there's no margin in it.
No, it's more of a,
Zero.
the client really needs it. Or
I
you
needs
bump
the
into
features.
a bookkeeper who really needs it, then just, talk it up and let them sign up.
But there's only $40 margin now on the desktop products if you're
I
not
know, it's not even worth it.
if you're not selling Plus.
All right.
Is QBO still free? The Pro Advisor?
For QBO online account, QBO on accountants.
Yeah.
Yeah, QBO Online Accountant. Okay. So if you just did QuickBooks Online without the advanced, it would be free.
Yes.
Okay.
I might have to use up one of my last 5 for 25s.
I still have 3 of those. So if
I
you
do.
know
I
anybody who
did.
wants one,
I'm
and
brand-
mine are going to be.
Wait. You have 3 of those?
I do.
Want one? Oh. Well,
I'll totally pay for it.
You've only got 2 now.
For Sandbox because I want to test Skyline Payments and their new customer self-service portal.
Yeah.
I just
Oh.
have.
I kind of regret it because I signed up for 5 for 5
Yeah.
and then I wasn't using them and I wasn't really reselling them. So I totally wasn't doing anything in that. So I was at a conference and I talked to somebody and they took 3 of them off.
Oh.
Were they the ones?
So I've
were
only
they
been
the
paying
ones-
$10 a month, but I can't get them back now.
Yeah, but the first round,
The first round, they stayed that way forever, as
Yeah.
long until
Yeah.
I kicked the bucket.
Yeah.
That's the kind I have. Yep.
Yeah, that's the 2 I have. I mean, they did
And
a
I
special deal for me
usually
and took the
sell
other
them
3.
for 25 a month. And I'll
Yeah.
bill the person 3
been
times a
donating
year.
them. The
So-
2 there, I donated them to 2 little nonprofits.
Yeah, so I sold, so I have 2 right now.
Yeah.
And one of them, I literally use, right, Sarah, like a sandbox. So Larry's Landscaping is loaded in that one. So if I do a demo on QBO for Power BI or whatever, I use that data. So that just works really well. Even though there's a sandbox company, right, that I can use as
Right.
it's just consistent data that I like to use. But the other one I actually sell, and I only bill them once a year. So if you have something like that, you want to sell it to me once a year, bring it. Because
Okay,
I
and
have
then,
a gal.
and then they'll count under my subscription, right? Or
Yeah,
how
because
do-
I have a gal that is, it's a long story, but the short version of
Okay.
it is
Well,
she
we'll
really
talk
needs-
about it.
She
Okay.
really needs to actually get
Alright,
some
I'll do
accounting
it.
done.
I'm
We
not
tried
doing
to
it.
we tried to put her in self whatever, the super low one, and it was a debacle.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. Mine is plus. All of mine are plus. I don't ever put anybody anything different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just refer her to you and you can take care of her because I don't really do bookkeeping. So
Yeah, I don't usually do bookkeeping either.
I gave them to 2 nonprofits.
I usually set them up and then it's theirs to run with. And if they don't like the way I teach, I fire them. I say, you can pay me once every 6 months or once a quarter, whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're not rich people. So.
I do want to test Skyline, and their desktop portal should be out in 4 weeks.
So Sarah, do you want this girl as a bookkeeping client so you can give her a 5 for 5? Come on.
Yeah,
She needs a real bookkeeper.
interesting that you're talking
What
about.
kind of a company?
Ernest,
does
I
she
might,
have, Ernest?
I might have somebody that can help you out. We'll talk about it later.
No, I'm trying
Yeah.
some more. I can.
All
Poor
righty,
girl.
we are
Here
like
we are all
way over
pushing work
time.
away.
We're so over time, almost an
I
hour
know.
today.
All right.
I
Well,
know.
I
Time
will
flies
not
when
be
you're
here
having
next
fun,
week.
right?
Oh, you won't? Okay.
no, I'm going to be at a conference in Vegas at the Hilton Hotel at Lake Las Vegas. So
Have a good time.
I will do that.
Viva.
All righty, everybody.
Back in
See
2
you
weeks.
all. Same
Bye.
time, same place next week.